Good afternoon, everybody. It's wonderful to see such a great crowd, a packed house. Thank you so much for coming out for the commencement of the class of 2017 from the Clarkson School. My name is John Goss, and I'm head of school. A special welcome to some distinguished guests. First of all, President Tony Collins. And Adia Griffin, who is our commencement speaker from the class of 2000. Adia. And I'm really pleased to say that Adia has brought two friends with her from the class of 2000, Mary Beth Klinger-Lawrence and Elena Malas-Hulette. Are they in the audience? Up there. Fantastic. Thanks for coming. It's wonderful to have you here. It's also a welcome to Clarkson University faculty and staff who are up in the balcony up there, and to all the family and friends and significant others, some of whom are also family and faculty and staff at Clarkson University. So welcome to all of you today too. And last but not least, of course, welcome to you guys, the honorees of today. They are the 39th class of the Clarkson School, the class of 2017. Now for you guys, it's hard to believe that it's actually 6,144 hours ago that you were last sitting up here and signing the book. 256 days, or 70.14% of the common year. Of course, it hasn't been a common year, has it? It's been a very strange year. You've taken a risk of coming to school, an unusual step of coming to school a year early to Clarkson's early college program. Well, you've survived your first year at college, and you survived your school year. More than you've survived, you've thrived and you've flourished, haven't you? And you've done yourselves proud. So this is a really special moment indeed. Before I get carried away, though, I need to turn it over to Tony Collins to give some welcoming remarks. President Collins.
Thank you, John. I was actually looking forward to you getting carried away, but I didn't know where we were going. First of all, my personal and on behalf of from the trustees, the faculty, staff, everyone at Clarkson, congratulations to those graduating today from the Clarkson School. And congratulations to those that got them here. Parents, siblings, family, general supporters. It is a team effort, and that is what underscores a Clarkson education, our recognition that everything is by team. And today there can't be anything that underscores that more than the team of people that have given us these graduates today. So now let me say, this is not going to be a political speech, but I will mention President Trump. And that is that while he was campaigning, he certainly made a point of saying that he was going to bring back the jobs that have been lost from the Rust Belt, the coal miners, the steel workers, the manufacturing people. And so there's been a lot of focus on that. And so I'm going to give you a little quotation here from someone. And I'm going to challenge these people in front of me, whether you stay at Clarkson and keep our feet to the fire, or whether it's kind of the Johnny Appleseed phenomenon that a number of you are going to go across the country to some of the best universities that this nation has, in addition to Clarkson University. But there will be a challenge, and so let me give you some remarks. Now, these comments come from Those Jobs Are Gone. It's an article by Steve Kolowich, he in the Chronicle of Higher Education, and he interviewed Andrew McPhee, who is the co-director of the MIT Initiative on the Digital Economy, the economy that we're moving toward. So here are his words. Our educational system is well suited to turn out the kinds of workers the economy needed 50 years ago. Those that could read, write, and do some math, and also were trained to follow the voice of authority. Actually, I hope that you'd follow the voice of authority. Computers are much better than us at math, learning to read and write very quickly, and are unbeatable at following instructions consistently. And this is what I want you to think about, and my challenge. We need an educational system now that excels at producing people to do the things that computers can't do. Figure out what problems to tackle next, work as part of a team to solve it, and have compassion for others and the ability to coordinate, motivate, persuade, and negotiate. That's a lot different from the charge of 50 years ago, right? Clarkson is moving to support that kind of education. Our educational resources center next door is going to be turned into an innovation hub to force all of our Clarkson students, in essence, to think along the education of the future. And so my challenge to the Clarkson School students that are graduating today, keep Clarkson's feet to the fire in terms of thinking about the new way to educate, why you needed to be educated and how. And for those that are going across the nation, take a little bit of Clarkson with you and challenge those institutions to think in the way that I've just mentioned. So with that, congratulations again to those in front of me and those that are filling this auditorium today, this forum. It's a tremendous opportunity that the Clarkson provides, and I want to end by thanking John and his staff for what they have done for these students this year. So that's where I'll say, please join me in a round of applause for the Clarkson School staff. And now it's back to John, I think. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Collins. This is the 6th year now that we've invited one of our alums to come back and give a speech at commencement, so that's become one of our traditions. We're very big in the Clarkson School on tradition. It's great to have an alum come back and share their experience while they were at the Clarkson School and to tell us what they've done and to reflect upon their experience in their interesting lives beyond the Clarkson School. And this year, we're honored to have Adia Griffin. Again, she's an alum of the class of 2000. Following her school year, Adia studied engineering physics at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, where Cullen Flynn is going to go. Fantastic. Yes, congratulations, Cullen. And upon graduation, she had various jobs about which you'll hear before going to work as an engineer for the United Space Alliance at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Since 2013, she's worked as lead fluence design engineer for the Mechanical Systems Design Group at Jacobs Space Operations Group. Currently, she serves as subject matter expert and coordinator and consultant responsible for the comprehensive pressure vessel system certification program that has to meet NASA's stringent standards for quality and safety. Adia partners with NASA regularly in support of the Shuttle Launch System, International Space Station, and launch servicing programs, and with Kennedy Space Center's new spaceport initiatives for future space exploration. In other words, Adia does rocket science. Back on Earth, Adia is married with 2 kids, and she's an active leader in her community. She's vice president of the Society of Women Engineers, the Space Coast section, and chair of their annual outreach event called WOW, that's engineering, which encourages girls in 7th and 12th grades to pursue careers in STEM fields. She's been widely recognized with honors, including the Women of Distinction Award from the Girl Scouts of Citrus Council, Florida, the Test and Operations Services Contract Mentor Award, and the Society of Women Engineers Space Coast Outstanding Woman Engineer of the Year. Adia also serves as one of TCS's professional ambassadors. Adia.
I'd like to say thank you to the Clarkson School staff for inviting me here today to speak. It's an honor for which I never expected, but I am deeply grateful for. Welcome, parents, teachers, and the class of 2017. It's definitely amazing to be back up here again, the changes in the new building and everything. It's hard to believe that 17 years ago, I too was a schoolie, sitting in your place, having completed this amazing program from this esteemed school, and excited to what was going to lay ahead. One step closer to my dream to work in mission control with the space program. Now that I am older, you can all do the math. I'm feeling a little old, but I'm sure there are a few of you in this room that are feeling older. And as you watch your babies graduate, today I stand before you as a rocket scientist working at Kennedy Space Center, preparing the center for its evolution to the state-of-the-art facility that will return astronauts here in the U.S. to our rightful place in the stars. For the last couple months, I've debated what to talk to you about. Should I blast you off with words? Should I leave you spaceless? Or should I take you to the moon and back? I've decided on giving you a formula. In my job, I work with formulas quite a bit. I thought about what my formula would be, about where I am today. And I decided on determination. And I was wondering, does success equal determination? Is it that simple? Today, I want to tell you about my story. I attended U.S. Space Academy, that's Space Camp, in 8th grade. After that opportunity, I knew I wanted to work with the U.S. space program. I ate, slept, dreamed about working with the space program. I grew up with learning challenges, but I had a special ability to adapt to my surroundings. My education was standard. I was homeschooled, attended private, public, and charter schools in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. By 10th grade, I did everything to figure out, how to get me to my next step in working with the space program. I went from college fair to college fair, asking about, how to get there. I was often laughed at for wanting to work in mission control. As fates aligned, I was running errands with my mom one day, and I found out about Clarkson University from the town copy shop guy. And with a little research, I found out about the Clarkson School. A pretty amazing opportunity. More recently, I was reviewing my fellow student ambassador profiles online, and they stated why they wanted to go to the Clarkson School. And I discovered many of our reasons for choosing the Clarkson School were the same. In describing those reasons, I thought of a speech that John F. Kennedy gave in the beginning of the space race, and what it would sound like for us schoolies. These words came to mind. But why, some say, the Clarkson School? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why did Starbucks create a unicorn drink? Why does Clarkson play RPI? We choose to go to the Clarkson School. We choose to go to this Clarkson School and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. We are challenged academically, pushed mentally. To be a schoolie is to be different. Yet, I don't need to tell you about the amazing friendships, family dinners, and fun trips. Reflecting back on TCS, I sometimes equate it to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. This is a place that taught us how to grow as individuals and guide us on the path to use our amazing powers for good. What are your special powers? Healing, leaping tall buildings in a single bound, flying, creating, designing, teaching. Moving forward in my story, and we move to the next phase in my life after TCS. Like some of you, I made the decision to tackle a new challenge, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, where I not only had to adapt to the drastic change between Potsdam, New York, and Daytona Beach, Florida, But I found out that not all professors understood the abilities of those special students who learn differently. Great battles were fought. This isn't the right major for you. You should have studied something different. To anyone else, this would be a great drain on one's superpowers. But for me, drive and determination acted like a shield. I adapted. I had to learn my enemy's greatest weakness and use it to my advantage. And with those struggles, I found I had to find things that would ground me and keep me upright in the storm. I found grounding in organizations outside of the classroom. I sang in choir. I participated in Society for Women Engineers, Student Space Awareness, the National Space Society, and I ran the Embry-Riddle yearbook in my 3rd year. We all have interests and passions, get involved, have new experiences. This may be the path to the things that you do after college. The degree will be the bridge that gets you there. Back to the story. With strength and determination, I graduated with a bachelor's degree in engineering physics. The next battle came when it was time for me to enter the workforce. This was not an easy task. In February 2003, just over a year from me graduating, something major happened in human spaceflight. The space shuttle Columbia disintegrated upon re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. Not only was that a huge tragedy and loss to humankind, it really strained the aerospace industry and those of us who were readying to take the mantle of careers in spaceflight. Over a 2-year period, while I was managing a print shop after college, finding a job went something like this. An interview with a panel, a full table full of hiring managers at Kennedy Space Center. Nothing. An interview for my dream job at Johnson Space Center, determining launch trajectories and mission control. I was there, this was it. Nada. A hiring freeze. 2 more interviews, one in Las Vegas and one in Houston. 2 offers on the table, and I had to choose one. That company lost the contract. No job. In July 26, 2005, Space Shuttle Discovery launched from Kennedy Space Center, ending a 2.5-year wait for the historic return to flight. 5 interviews with United Space Alliance. 1 offer. Yes. Was it my dream job? Not really, but it was one step closer. It was at Kennedy Space Center. With return to flight, things were looking a little better, and little did I know this entry-level fluids design engineering position would combine the interest and the passions that I had at the beginning of my journey. My superpower of adaptation with determination and life had helped me grow and develop. This was not the end of my battle in my career. Even though the space program had returned to flight, back in 2004, the president had announced that the retirement of the space shuttle program would happen in 2010 to make way for a new program, Constellation, which, by the way, was canceled. I not only watched friends, coworkers retire, take voluntary layoffs, and were involuntarily laid off, but I was nearly laid off twice myself. But because of my experience and my ability to adapt to changes in my surroundings, I was able to hang on to the very end. I made myself valuable to the oncoming contractor. At the time, I didn't know who that was going to be. It is not too hard to guess that this is a short version of my story. And as you may have heard in my introduction, I am now lead fluids design engineer for Jacobs, a mentor to my coworkers, and leader in my community. And although mission control was my original ultimate goal and drive for my success, life has given me a wonderful family, an amazing career I would have never imagined, and I wouldn't change my journey. Many said I couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't succeed in my field, but my peers have recognized me for my expertise in my field. What was my formula? Determination plus growth plus adaptation plus life plus passion equals success. But each of us has our own formula. There will be a lot of questions. I've graduated now. Now what? Where do I go from here? Success is what you make it. Each phase of your life will be a new adventure to grow your superpower. Take it on with passion and determination, but be ready to adapt to what life gives you. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Thank you.
Thanks, Adia, for sharing that wonderful story with us. I think you'll agree that Adia has come a long way in those 17 years, and she's also come a long way to be with us today, so a special thanks for coming from Florida. It just reminds me, your goal was mission control, and you didn't make mission control, but you found happiness elsewhere. There was only one thing I knew when I was graduating from university many, many years ago, and that was I did not want to be a professor. And here I am. Go figure. Anyway, every year the schoolies vote for the student among them who is the best representative to address the graduating class. And it is a great pleasure to introduce Christina Shoup to you. Christina came all the way from Berlin High School in New York. And she focused on biomolecular science here at Clarkson, and she's going on to study animal science at Cornell University, with the hope eventually to go to Tufts University for veterinary medicine. Back at Clarkson, she plays clarinet at Crane Community Band and is a proud resident of Newell too. Yes! No, boo! All right, okay. Okay, Christina.
Good afternoon. I first want to thank friends, faculty, and family for coming today. I also like to thank my class for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak on your behalf. It really means a lot. I was asked once what 3 life events would become most memorable. Out of everything that happens in my life, it seems impossible to pinpoint just 3. However, I responded that I always want to remember my graduation, my wedding day, and my first day of retirement. Being that girl who's always dreamed of a princess wedding, it made sense that this day would make the cut. My first day of retirement, I imagine as my first day of true relaxation, because finally Mondays become less of a drag. However, all of us here on stage are unique because when it comes to graduation, we get to experience this twice. Now, I'll admit for some people, the actual commencement ceremony is not as important as it is to others, and that's okay. I don't expect everyone to be excited about the cap and gown as me, but I do think all of us share a feeling of satisfaction with successfully completing not only our senior year of high school, but our freshman year of college. And at this point, I would like to take a second to remember everything that we've all done here the past year at the Clarkson School, starting with that trip to Oswegatchie in August, spending a few days outdoors. Now, I mean the outdoors like sitting in a chair, playing music and tanning. I mean the no cell service and the buggy woods with bug spray outdoors. However, everyone will remember this trip in one way or another, some favoring the night walk, while others favoring the team building exercises and ropes course. After the start of the first semester, our days were filled with lecture-style classes, evening exams, and so on. And as the weeks continued, so did the work. I know many of us who have perfected our 5-minute power napping capabilities, and others who have endured the freshman all-nighters. And a very important part of the Clarkson experience has definitely been late-night runs to the servery when it's 5 minutes before closing, and they pile on the pasta and giving out whole pizza pies like there's no tomorrow. Additionally, between the classes and projects, many of us have been able to have fun outside of Potsdam with a TCS trip to Montreal and trip to Smuggler's Notch. Shopping, skiing, and sightseeing gives opportunities after a hard week, while giving others a chance to visit different places or even a different country. There are so many important aspects to becoming successful in college a year early. Being here means leaving home earlier than most high school seniors. This means traveling 10, 100, 1,000 miles or more. Regardless of being minutes or hours from home, being in a new environment definitely has its struggles. However, we have overcome them in a lot of ways. I've always been told that when I'm feeling lonely, I should surround myself doing things that I enjoy. A lot of students here have done just that. When you don't have your roommate around, you have to find something else to do. Although my roommate has been around for me. Thanks, Anise. Students represented the Clarkson School in nearly 40 different clubs, sports, and organizations. Among these, students have taken on leadership roles as well. Mike Gagliardi is the staff writer for the university paper, the Clarkson Integrator. We have Frank Shee, who's the treasurer for CCA, and Cooper Frazier, who's a DJ for Clarkson's radio station, as well as music chair for Clarkson Union Board. We have members of Alpha Kappa Psi, which is a business fraternity on campus, and we have singers from Clarkson's a cappella group, the Golden Notes. Their list of activities seems to go on, and I know I've definitely enjoyed my fair share of soloists, Nicole, and from Golden Notes. I want to end my portion of this ceremony with some personal remarks. At the end of the day, I can definitely say that I'm excited. However, I'm not excited for me, I'm excited for all of us. The Clarkson School Class will be going our separate ways after this ceremony. For some of us, this means pursuing an undergraduate degree at Clarkson University. For others, this means going away to another college for the next 4 years. No matter the decision, we will all be Clarkson School alumni. Once we step out of Price Hall, things are going to change. However, this does not need to be a bad change. For those of you who have not seen the big poster in my dorm room, Alice in Wonderland holds a special place in my heart. I feel that there are a lot of components of the storyline that, although is a children's book, can apply to your life throughout. Although we all are mad here, pun intended, I think the best quote to describe us as a class would be that we can't go back to the person that we were yesterday, because we are all different people then. And I think this in the very best way. I'm excited to see where my classmates will go in the next chapter of their lives, no matter where they decide to pursue their dreams. I know a lot of people believe that their senior year of high school is meant for relaxing and partaking in senior skip day and prom. However, I really could not be happier with the way that I had spent it. Being with all of you this year and sharing in the experiences that we've had will definitely make the list for the top 3 most memorable experiences in my life. And I truly thank you all for making my senior year the best year ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, and all the best at Cornell and your future in veterinary career. At this point, I'd just like to very briefly introduce the staff and at the Clarkson School. Brenda Kojan, who is the Associate Head of School. Matt Rutherford, Director of Admissions and Financial Aid. Annette Green, who's our Office Manager. And Kathleen O'Leary, Associate Director of Student Life and Alumni Relations. It is this staff that recruits our students, arranges financial aid, advises them in their academics, and ensures that they live in a safe and welcoming environment. They are the in loco parentis of the Clarkson School family. So thank you, everybody. Brenda Kojan will introduce the HAs. So I'd like to ask Brenda to come up. HAs, just as we call them house advisors because we used to live in a house. They're the same as residence advisors. Right, Brenda? Okay.
I didn't disappear. So before I give my remarks, I got to put on my glasses so I can see. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to this wonderful event. But I have a question for all of you. So how many of you have ever gotten lost while driving? Right? A lot of us. Okay. Even with the best intentions, all the preparing, planning, even the highest technology for GPS, we still tend to get lost. And my husband can probably attest to that. So why do I ask you that question? So for the students, if you remember way back when in PE 100, remember when I was talking about the inner GPS? Having the start and where you want to be, and I think I even mentioned Florida as the final destination. And even with the best intentions, getting to that final destination isn't always a straight path, right? There's obstacles, road bumps, sickness, you name it. So before I talk about the academic achievements today, I think it's important to note that you will all be recognized for embarking on this challenging journey this year. Was it what you expected? Some may say yes, some no. Was it better? Was it worse? Did you learn something new? As I went back and reviewed the exit surveys that we have students fill out at the end of every year about their experience, there were a few patterns that emerged. Students generally did not like curfew. Yeah, I know, surprise. Many developed very close friendships during the year, and you found some, if not all, classes challenging. It became clear to me that there were both great, good, and perhaps not so good experiences. But really, isn't that what life is all about? I'd like to talk and go back to the journey, how you get from one place to another, how sometimes a journey brings you back home like a Dia, or takes you in a completely different direction than expected. Journeys in life are far more random, far less orderly than they seem at first glance. The reason I say first glance is that paths appear random, are random, especially when you're looking at them one step at a time. Again, be proactive, begin with the end in mind, first things first. You knew I had to get that in there. It's only when you stand back and see the whole journey in perspective, the paths chosen, the paths rejected, that a pattern emerges. A pattern that over time defines journey of life or the inner GPS. And today for you is a wonderful day to put this leg of your journey in perspective. At any one moment in time, you often can't see where your path is heading, and logic and intellect alone won't lead you to make the right choices, won't in fact take you necessarily down the right path. You have to master not only the art of listening to your head, you must also master listening to your heart. One has to look beyond the immediate choices at hand, dare to dream big, dare to strive for the art of the possible, and dare to truly aspire. It's far too easy to get paralyzed by the seeming weight of it all. It's too easy sometimes to freeze or give up. I and probably everyone in this room can sympathize, as most of us, if not all of us, have been faced with our own obstacles. Again, all you really have to do is engage your heart and your mind in every decision you make. Engage your whole self in your journey will reveal itself with a passage of time. So I too want to put this into kind of a personal context for you. So in elementary and high school, I wanted to be a teacher. So I did want to be a teacher. So I had an opportunity to teach my 10th grade English class. And as you can imagine, teaching your peers was not really a very fun experience because I got teased, and so I said that was the one experience that broke the deal for my dream. Later, I wanted to be a hairdresser. I wanted to own my own gym. It was after being inspired by my marketing professor that I wanted to pursue marketing. And after graduating from college, working 2 years as a data analyst, actually came back to Clarkson to pursue my MBA, and came back to what my original passion was, and that was working in education. Because I know a lot of parents are about my age, so you probably know what I'm talking about when I say Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. The best rock song ever, ever, ever. And if you haven't listened to it, you guys, you really need to. It's back in the 80s. There's a quote in the lyric where it says, yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. Remember that? But I'm not going to sing it. The song plays out as a kind of spirit quest, a journey in search of meaning in a world of ambiguity. Perhaps this is why it remains this rock's most popular song. It really speaks to all of us, no matter if we're baby boomers or millennials or Gen X, whatever. So I genuinely believe that life teaches us lessons in strange ways. The lesson I learned was love what you do. Love what you do. Don't make a choice of any kind, whether in career or in life, just because it pleases others, because it ranks high on someone else's scale of achievement, or even because it seems to be, even for you at the time, simply the logical thing to do at the moment. Make the choice to do something because it engages all of you. So today we celebrate your journey. Your minds have done exceptionally well in this early college phase. The stuff that you've stored in your mind will be valuable without question, whether you stay at Clarkson or elsewhere, but your mind alone won't do it. When you leave here, you start on the second leg of your journey. So figure out how to listen to your heart. Some will do this naturally. Others, you do need to still keep trying. 67% of you will remain at Clarkson. Yeah, for the next leg. 33% will be moving on to institutions such as Syracuse University, Hamilton College, MIT, Cornell University, Boston College, UNC, Rose-Hulman, Colorado School of Mines, Colby College, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Many others. To parents, guardians, partners, and friends, those of you who have sacrificed so much to let you go a year earlier than expected, today is an important day for you, an acknowledgement of one chapter closed, and the official handing over of the pen, so to speak, so that they can write their next chapter. And finally, remember that throughout this journey, the only limits that really matter are the ones you put on yourself. And that those crucial moments in your life when you know what you need to do, but others advise against what they perceive to be a detour from your path, know yourself. Trust your whole self, and don't blink. If you do these things, when you look back, you will know that this journey was one you made the most of. So at this time, I'd like to make some acknowledgments for accomplishments this year. But first, I would like to acknowledge our House advisors. They're sitting over there. We have Bruno Winterman, Sarah Leiholt, Chrissy Govertson, and Sam Crosby, both. Yeah. We certainly wish you well, Bruno and Sam, in your adventures after you graduate next week. And we look forward to Sarah and Chrissy being with us again for next year. I'd also like to acknowledge those students who earned President's List and those who earned Dean's List. I'm happy to say that over half of the class earned one or the other acknowledgement. So congratulations. At our University Recognition Day in April, we also celebrate the accomplishments of all the students at the university, including our students. So I'd like to acknowledge the Clarkson School Award that was given to both David Russell and Aaron Connor. The Christine M. Lane Endowed Scholarship to Trinity Dickinson and Cassandra Patterson. To our H.A. Chrissy Govertson, the Keith M. Russ Civil and Environmental Engineering Award and Commendable Leadership. Congratulations. And we also had several, actually, Clarkson School alumni that received awards at the University Recognition Day. So if you're in the audience, congratulations to you. We're very proud of you. So again, all of you should be very proud of your accomplishments, successes, overcoming of obstacles, detours on this leg of your journey, and much success to you on your next leg. Congratulations. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Matt Rutherford, our Director of Admission and Financial Aid, who will be presenting the certificates.
Also the gift bags.
I also wanted to mention that Adia was very kind and sweet to also bring something for each of the students. So as you are presenting your certificate and as you are walking down the steps, and again, be careful, Adia will give each of you a gift that she brought for you. So thank you very much, Adia. It was very thoughtful. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. It was an honor for me to call your name just a few short months ago when you joined us, and it is truly an honor for me to call your name again as you conclude your time here at the Clarkson School. First row, please rise. When your name is called, please come to the stage, shake hands, receive your certificate, and return to your seat. Igal Aiden. Joshua Bentley. Joseph Berrigan. Lucas Bird. Kendall Boda. Benjamin Brooks. Lindsay Clark. Maya-Ann E. Collins. Olivia Collins. Aaron Connor. Jason A. Deshane. Friend Trinity Dixon. Andrew Douglas. Colin E. Flynn. Cooper E. Frazier. Mike Gagliardi. Mariah German. Jake A. Goulet. Second row, please rise. Joshua Grimm. Tegan Grissy. Ben Gushla. Nicole Hebert. Amanda E. Horn. Jason Adam Jemison. Bryce Jenkins. Sean Klein. Spencer Krantz. Nicholas J. Lascala. Bridget Leyendecker. Michael Lynn. Ryan Ling. Shirley Leo. Joseph E. Malloy. Nick Marvin. Caitlin Mays. Jordan McNaughton. Gabriel Meyerson. Third row, please rise. Colin Parsons. Cassandra Patterson. Nicholas D. Pearson. Asia Piper. Sabrina Reed. Audrey Reyes. David J. Russell. Matthew Sadler. Anise Sago. Griffin Bagnall Shankle. Shi Hong Fen. Christina L. Shoup. Margaret Smith. Martin S. Stone. Brittany M. Taylor. Charlene C. Van Leuven. Heidi Visser. Stephen Jung. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2017.